Hey guys, welcome back to Kiwi Classics. Look what we got going on here today. This is the, not about long awaited, but awaited Mustang Sophia front subframe 3/4 chassis. Not quite sure what you call it. It's more than a subframe, but it's not quite a full chassis. But it's here. Now we'll give you a quick walk around it, and then we've got to try and get it underneath the old Swiss cheese car. So yeah, here we go. Here you have it. Now, obviously, this is the front. It's all set up for Mustang 2 style, independent, twin A-arm front suspension. It's already made with the mounts for the Coyote. Coilover shocks here. So, yeah, it's all the main chassis rails. That's the step down. This is where the firewall goes, like your toe boards, that 45-degree kind of slope piece of the firewall where your feet go, where your heel kind of goes here and then your foot up there. That normally comes back under the floor. The seat, the front of the seat riser on a Mustang goes like right there. And then these sections go all the way back and actually bolt in to the spring eye, the leaf spring, the forward eye of the leaf spring bolts in through there. So yeah, the whole, these little bars here are just to stabilize it, so those extensions aren't just waving around. So yeah, it's quite a slick little setup. There's a nice jacking pad here that they've added. You can use a stock core support to go on the front here, or you can use Mustang Sophia modified one. And also obviously it comes with all the steering rack and all the suspension componentry, but it's just a bare chassis at the moment. Yeah, so it's pretty slick. So yeah, that's kind of what you get. But yeah, it's nicely done. There's lots of it certainly appears to be well thought out. And the compressor kicks in on typical. That's all right, we're about done with this little shot. Now what I got to do is wrestle it around and get it over and underneath this old girl. So I got a bit of stuff to get out of the way and slide it under. In theory, you bolt it up to those rear spring mounts, you jack up the front to the correct height, weld her up. So let's see. So there it is, set in place. It took a little bit of getting around there, but we got it there and underneath. So kind of starting to look like a car again. Starting to. So what we have to do is obviously get it jacked up to the right height, which is a matter of using a level along the top of the frame. And that in combination with our measurements that we took from the top of the rails. This area will weld down onto here. We've got torque boxes to slide in there. So, and that will centralize the chassis side to side. In theory, these should be a pretty snug fit, in this gap here. Once the chassis is up there, and I'll try and creep down underneath and show you how it works at the back. It's a pretty clever idea actually. It's quite slick. So let's get under here. So you can see the frame coming from up there, comes down, and right smack in the middle of the shot there is the eye bolt, the leaf spring eye bolt that normally holds the leaf spring in, while it doing double duty and actually locating the rear of the chassis. And you can kind of see the same on this side. You got your bolt through here. That's locating this, which gives us our wheelbase, our correct wheelbase, and pretty much side to side with a little bit of wiggle room side to side just to get that nailed down with a bit of diagonal measuring. So what I'm going to do now is get it jacked up, get it level, start kind of mocking up the assembly of it with the torque boxes, that type of thing. And but I'll do that on the time lapse on the tripod, so I'll be back in a second and we'll get stuck in. Okay, she's probably 80% in. Got all the toolboxes, say mostly welded in. There's a few plug welds to still do underneath, which is a bit miserable doing, welding on your back. And I've kind of run out of Saturday, so she's certainly rigid. It's exactly where it wants to be. All the levels are reading what level. That's side to side and front to back. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Like it was a lot of checking along the way. As you start welding, you want to be careful that it doesn't pull one direction or another, up or down or side to side. So there's a lot of checking in between. Weld a little bit, check, weld a little bit, check, adjust a little if you need to. It's much better to kind of catch it trying to move early on in the welding process rather than once it's all done. Because in the early stages of welding, you've still got the ability to kind of flex it and tweak it a little bit if you need it. So yeah, but it's all welded in around here. The floor pans are fitted in really nicely onto this part of the rail. Your 45 degree on the toe boards. That's all worked out exactly where it's supposed to be. Our heights here are exactly right. Our heights at the front of the rail are exactly what they were when we first started this exercise and had the original frame rails on there. So yeah, it's cross-checked, rechecked, double-checked, and it's all spot on. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty trick little kit. It's we've come a long way in a few hours, a few hours of welding, and as I say, getting everything set up where you're really confident that it's where it's supposed to be. But yeah, the way they do it certainly helps. The way it bolts into the rear spring mounts, or the front of the rear spring eyes, that gives you your wheelbase exactly spot on, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it seems nice and solid. It's not, there's no flex. You can lift up on this, give it all you got, and it's really not moving. And we've got more strength to add too. Obviously, with these inner fenders here, they add a little bit of rigidity, a little bit of finish welding, and yeah, this thing's coming together nicely. So yeah, we'll be close to throwing some suspension on here and getting it back on its wheels, so we can get it over and on the rack and then finish off some of the welding from underneath. It's much nicer to do. I mean, you still wear a few sparks for sure, but it's better than lying on your back by a long way. So yeah, pretty good kind of day's work really. Hard work, but good work. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I'm kind of out of Saturday. I'm going to wrap it up, head on home, have a cold one. You guys do the same. Man, it's Bathurst tonight, the big super touring car race from Australia. So looking forward to that. I think that kicks off about 7 o'clock our time. Not sure whether I'll make the 6 hours from there. That kind of puts us at sometime tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm going to give it a crack. So have a good one, guys. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next video.